Thanks for being here today. My name is Anna, and today's class is called Open-Hearted Strength. So we are going to be working on opening the chest wall in front and then working to support that opening by harnessing the strength of the upper back muscles and the muscles around your shoulder blades, also known as your scapula. So let's grab a block if you have one handy and get started on our backs. So if you have your block, we're going to take it on its lowest setting underneath your shoulder blades. So this will be around like bra strap line or maybe where you like wear a heart rate monitor or something like that. And so coming down onto the block, interlace your hands behind your head. And then just feel that the shoulder blades on each side are resting nice and easily on the block. And you're just letting the chest lean down into the support of those scapula or shoulder blades. And then whatever feels good here. So sometimes I like to lean back and kind of curl up a little bit, or even do this kind of scrubbing action side to side. But wherever you are, just let your head fully rest into your hands. You can start to make your breath a little bit deeper, breathing in and out through your nose. All right, and then nice and easy, we'll just roll off to the side. And then let's take that block in between your thighs. So we're going to set up for a bridge pose here. So feel your lower back ribs push down into the floor, lengthen your tailbone toward your heels, and then drive your hips up. So we're lifting just into a low bridge, gently hugging that block. So let's take your arms and reach them straight up toward the ceiling, and the palms are facing each other. And now feel here the shoulder blades on the floor. And then we're going to take the arms straight out to the side as far as it's comfortable to go. And then just feel the shoulder blades right and left here on the floor. It's as if they are controlling this movement. So bring the arms back up and then reach them out to the sides. And so feel that we're not letting the front of the shoulder pop up toward the ceiling as we lower the arms, right? But as the arms lower, we're almost like holding the shoulder blades into the body. Let's do one more here. Nice. And then the arms will come up this next time and then flip the palms up so it's like you're holding a tray. And then we'll take a little wrist stretch. The right hand pulls the left fingers back. You can stretch your left thumb out to the side. And just start to make your breath a little bit bigger. And checking in that the glutes are still feeling active, still working. And then we'll switch hands. Left hand pulls the right fingers back. Thumb can reach out to the side. Beautiful. Now let your arms come down to the floor, and super slowly, we're going to roll the spine down one vertebra at a time. That's it. Nice. Now let's keep the block where it is. Interlace your hands behind your head and cup your skull. We're going to take an inhale breath here. Exhale, lift up off your shoulder blades. Now look down at your front body. And imagine that from the right side of your rib cage all the way to your left front pelvic point, and then from the left side of your ribs to the right front pelvic point, that those are drawing together. So it's kind of forming an X there on your belly. And then imagining you're pulling everything in that X together and down. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, come up off the shoulder blades. Feel right ribs to left pelvic point, left ribs to right pelvic point, forming that X, hugging that down, and then take your right elbow and just wing it out to the right without lowering that right shoulder blade. Gorgeous. Bring that elbow back in through center and inhale to lower. Exhale, lift up. Draw that X together, and then we're going to take your left elbow out to the left a bit, staying off that left shoulder blade. You got it. Bring the left elbow back in and inhale to lower. Let's do that again. Exhale, lift up. Right elbow wings out to the right. Hold those front ribs down. We're not pulling on the head, but moving from the abs. Right elbow comes back in and inhale to lower. Exhale, lift up, drawing those front ribs down to lift you, just carrying the head. Left arm, left elbow reaches out to the left a bit, staying up off that left shoulder blade. Bring the elbow back in, inhale to lower. We're gonna add on one more piece. You're doing great. Exhale, lift up. Turn 1 inch to the right, and then we'll take the right elbow out to the right just a little bit, staying up off that right shoulder blade, and feel left front pelvic point, right ribs drawing together. Good. Come back through center, right elbow comes in, inhale to lower. Last one here. Exhale, lift up. We're going to turn 1 inch to the left, left ribs, right front pelvic point, draw together in that little line as you take the left elbow out to the left a bit, staying up off that left shoulder blade. Amazing. Come back through center, left elbow comes in. Inhale to release. All right, we're gonna take that block off to the side. Moving and grooving. So we're gonna come into a quadruped or tabletop position. And snug your knees in maybe just a little bit more than you think you need to. And now feel here. You can imagine that you were gonna take the creases of your armpits and pull them up toward the ceiling. And so as you pull the creases of your armpits up toward the ceiling, you might begin to feel almost a suction cupping action of the shoulder blades on your back ribs. And that's what you want to feel, that the shoulder blades are really secure on your back here. And that is what is going to help support this opening in the chest wall. So we're going to hold on to that feeling, keeping the front ribs lifted without rounding your back. And then your right arm will reach back. And you can even look at the front of your right shoulder. What we don't want to happen is that shoulder dipping forward. So you're moving from the shoulder blade. You pull the shoulder blade into your back ribs, and that is what lifts the arm. And then bring that right arm back, and we're just gonna hover it there, reach it back. So it's like this little swinging action, but it's with control. And just imagine that you are moving your entire arm from that right shoulder blade. And the arm just goes along for the ride. So pull that shoulder blade into your body, and that's what hovers the arm. So that's where you should be feeling the activity back around that scapula, around that right shoulder blade. And the left side will be working here as well to stabilize. Nice. And then we'll switch sides. So right hand comes back underneath the shoulder. I'm going to take the left arm, reach it back, and you can even take a peek at the left front of the shoulder. Notice it's not dipping forward. We'll hover it back down and reach it back. So just over and over, feel that shoulder blade pulls into your body, almost toward your chest a bit. And that is what hovers the arm. Sometimes I almost think about this one even as like little reins. You're like pulling back on the reins of the shoulder blade to lift the arm. Right, let's do a couple more there. Watching that your ribs are staying lifted. That's it. And then we'll bring the left hand down. Now let's lower down onto your forearms, and you can have your forearms parallel or interlace your hands. And we're going to step back for a forearm plank. Slide one foot back and then the other. Now feel here that we aren't overly rounding in the back, but think about just holding your shoulder blades onto your back ribs. You can still feel a little bit of that crease of the armpit lifting up toward the ceiling. Glutes are on, tailbone is lengthening toward your heels. And then we'll lower the knees, lower all the way down. Gorgeous. Okay, so let's take your arms back behind you. You can rest your forehead on the floor, or if you need a little cushion, you can have a blanket or something there. Now root the base of your pubic bone down, push it into the floor, and feel your tailbone lengthen toward your heels. We're gonna hold on to that feeling. Now similar action here. I want you to imagine you're drawing your shoulder blades toward your chest, into the body, and that is going to hover your arms. And then lower that back down. Pull the shoulder blades into your body, that hovers the arms. Maybe you hover the hands. Nice. Lower that back down. So we're doing this with the head down for now, just to get the feeling. So we're rooting the pubic bone, wrapping the glutes toward your heels, pulling the shoulder blades into the body. And then maybe this next time, as you hover the arms, maybe you hover the head as well. We're not jutting the chin forward, but keep the length at the back of the neck. And pull the scapula into your body. Amazing. Feel that strength, feel that fire in your upper back. And then we'll lower back down. You can plant your hands under your shoulders. Now same thing here. Feel the shoulder blades pull down so the front of the shoulders stay lifted. You can tuck your toes, keep your knees down, lift yourself back up. And then we'll come into downward facing dog. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. Now keep the forearms and the armpits lifted up away from the floor. Maybe just start to pedal out your feet a bit. Give your head a little shake. And find your breath again. Nice. And then nice and easy, just gonna start to walk your feet toward your hands as far forward as you can come. And we'll rise all the way up to stand. All right, so let's get into our sequence here. I'm gonna take an inhale, bring your arms forward and up. Exhale, hinge and forward fold. Plant your hands either on blocks or the floor. Slide your right foot back, lower your knee, come onto the top of your foot, 90-90 low lunge. Now we're just gonna start to roll in the shoulders here. And once again, think about moving the shoulder blades on your back. Right, so we're just kind of moving the shoulder blades and the arm is going along for the ride. Holding these front ribs in, little activity in that right glute to stabilize. Bring your hands down, floor or blocks. Slide your left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up. Exhale, step the foot as far forward as you can. Lower the left knee, come onto the top of the foot. And then come on up for that 90-90 lunge. And then once again, just rolling in the shoulders. Feel the scapula, the shoulder blades sliding around on your back. But we're holding the ribs in. We're holding the pelvis steady, working that left glute. Bring your hands down, floor or blocks. Slide your left foot up next to your right. Rise to stand, inhale. Exhale, hinge and forward fold, sitting back into your hips. Step your left foot back, lower the knee, but not the toes this time. Come up into your 90-90 lunge. Now, just like we did in bridge, bring your arms forward and then feel, instead of rounding in your back here, pull your shoulder blades onto your back ribs. So once again, even here, you can think about crease of the armpits, moving back. And then from the shoulder blades, we're gonna reach your arms out to the side. And as you do this, feel those shoulder blades pull into your body, pull toward your chest. And then bring your arms forward again. We'll do that 2 more times. Arms come out to the side, and as you do that, pull your shoulder blades in toward your chest and keep those front ribs secure. One more time, arms come forward. And then reach them out to the sides. Pull the shoulder blades into your body. Nice. And then reach them forward. Plant your hands, downward facing dog, right foot steps back. Inhale, left leg reaches up. Exhale, step the foot as far forward as you can. Lower the right knee, but not the toes. And then bring your arms forward again. So crease of the armpit can move back a little bit. Feel that hugging of the shoulder blades onto your back. And then reach the arms out to the sides. And bring them back in. Right, so really put some brain power into those shoulder blade muscles. And as you reach the arms back, really hold the scapula on the back ribs. Pull them in toward the chest without letting the ribs move. Nice. Bring your hands down, floor or blocks. We're going to slide the right foot up next to the left and come all the way up to stand. Inhale. Exhale, hinge back just halfway. Check in that the front ribs are being held in without rounding your back. And we're going to step the right foot back for a tilted crescent. Nice. So right hand can come on top of the left thigh. And we're just using that as like a little buttress of support so that we can hold the front body up away from the thigh. You can check in with this right glute. Make sure that glute is doing their work. And now we're going to bring the left arm down toward the floor. Nice. So just like we did before, we're going to take that left arm back, but it's because that shoulder blade pulls in. And then bring the arm down. We're going to do 4 more of those. And you can just imagine like pulling up on the reins of that left shoulder blade to hover the arm. That's it. Keep lifting the back of your head up, not jutting the chin forward. Last one here. Nice. Now we're going to windmill up and around to face the back of the mat for a twisted crescent. Left hand can land either on the block or on the floor underneath your shoulder. And then we're going to turn your sternum to the right. And as you turn your sternum to the right, lean back into that left shoulder blade. And you can feel like that left shoulder blade is pulling into your body to support you. From here, if you'd like, you can reach that right arm straight up. And just notice how leaning into that strength we have at the back of the shoulder, right, allows us to have this opening in the chest. And to know that we're supported in that. One more breath here. Now lower your left knee down right underneath your hip, and we're going to lift up for that 90-90 low lunge again. Bring your hands behind your head. And then move your skull back into your hands. Perfect. These front ribs are staying held in. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, turn your sternum to the right. And this might be a really small turn because we're not moving the pelvis, just moving the ribs. Inhale back through center. Exhale, rotate the ribs to the right. Keep moving that skull back into the hands. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate right. One more time. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn right. And then hold it here, or maybe reach the arms straight out. Nice. Feel the shoulder blades pulling into your back. Feel that expansiveness in your chest. Now we're going to take this and open into a goddess facing the long edge of your mat. Push into your feet, and then we'll come into a little goddess squat here. So if you're not sure about this turnout, you can always straighten your legs, turn your toes forward, and then lift your toes up, and as much as the hips will let you turn, that's where you land. Nice. So light zipping up of the pubic bone and the ribs. Bring your arms out to the side. You can make fists here for like a little extra power. And now we're going to pulse the arms from the shoulder blades. So shoulder blades pull into the body, pull into the body. That is pulsing the arms. And notice that as you do this, you're not letting the ribs go. So we're holding these ribs steady, pulsing the shoulder blades. Good. Last couple. Feel the strength here, feel the power. And then we're gonna turn to the front, plant your hands, three-legged downward facing dog, left leg reaching up. Okay. We're gonna bring this down into stargazer. So left hip will internally rotate as it lands. So your left knee is facing the long edge of the mat. And then turn your right toes to face the back of the mat. Left hand is underneath your shoulder. Now, same thing here, pull that left shoulder blade into your body. You can pick this right elbow straight up toward the ceiling. Then reach up with that elbow, maybe let your left ear relax toward your left shoulder. If you want to, the right fingertips can kind of cup around the shoulder head, and you can do some little circles here. Just like we've been working on, so far I feel that that circle is coming from that shoulder blade. Nice. Now bring your right hand, your right knee back down to the floor so we're in tabletop. Lift your hips up, downward facing dog, and then start to walk your feet forward toward your hands. We'll rise up to stand. Got one more side, let's do this. So we're gonna hinge back halfway. Hold the front ribs in without rounding your back. And then we'll step the left foot back, tilted crescent. So left hand can land on the right thigh. And then feel that little buttress of support, so holding the ribs up away from the thigh. Little activity in that left glute, you can always give it a little poke here. Nice. And then you'll take your right arm down toward the floor. Watch that your head is lifting up without the chin jutting forward. Now we're gonna take the arm, float it back, reach it back down. Keep going there. Feel like you're pulling back on the reins of that right shoulder blade. That's what's hovering the arm. Nice. Pulling that shoulder blade into the body so that we're keeping this front of the shoulder always lifted. Nice, last one. Now we're gonna windmill up and around to face the back of the mat. Twisted crescent, right hand lands on the floor or your block underneath your shoulder. And now turn your sternum to the left, so the center of your chest, without letting that right shoulder dip forward. So lean back into the strength of that right shoulder blade. If you want to, you can reach your left arm straight up. Right glute is working. Just feel that opening in the chest when we really go back into the strength of the upper back. Now lower your right knee down. We're gonna come up for that 90-90 low lunge. Bring your hands behind your head. And then lean your head, kind of push your head back into your hands. Right glute is on, front ribs are staying held in. Take a big inhale. Exhale, rotate left, just from the center of your sternum. Inhale back through center. Exhale, rotate left. We're not changing the pelvis at all. Last two. Exhale, rotate. Last time. We'll rotate slightly to the left, hold it here, or reach the arms straight out from where you had them. And just feel the shoulder blades on the back without letting the ribs flare. Now we're opening this up into a goddess squat facing the long edge of the mat. So do like a little half windmill open. You can always set up that squat by straightening the legs and then lifting the balls of the feet. However much those hips will let you turn out is your squat. Nice. Bring the arms out to the sides. Feel the front ribs are being held in, and then these little pulses, shoulder blades into the body, into the body. You can even imagine kind of that little X we had on our abs, on our front body when we were doing some core work. And you can feel that here. Right, holding that X together as we pulse in the shoulder blades. Now we'll windmill this up and around to the front. Three-legged downward facing dog, right leg reaches up. Now coming into stargazer, so we're gonna lower the right knee. As you lower it, it internally rotates. So now your right foot is behind you, right hand is under the shoulder, left toes can point back toward the back of the mat. Nice. Now hold this right shoulder blade onto your back ribs. So we're not letting the front of that shoulder dip forward. You can lift that left elbow as high as it feels good. So really reaching up. Maybe let that right ear come toward the shoulder. Just feeling that when we go into our strength, when we rely on our strength, on our power, right, we can get into this bigger opening. We can feel more expansive, knowing that we've got the stability to back it up. And then we'll bring the left hand, the left knee back for tabletop, and then come around to a seat, and we will make our way onto our backs. So if you have your blocks handy, have them nearby. So we'll take one block or pillow or blanket or whatever you have at home under your head. And then we'll roll over onto the right side. Take this other block on its highest setting and stack your left knee on top of it. Nice, so the right knee can be bent as well there if that feels okay. Now stack your hands left on top of right, and we're gonna keep your head facing the direction it is now, but then bring your left arm, kind of sweep it open across your chest. You can take it over to the left. It does not need to get anywhere near the floor. And you can stay with this if that feels nice. Or you can even trace a little circle behind your head and then coming all the way around, just whatever feels best for you. But feel that as you do this, that left shoulder blade is controlling it. Right, so as that arm reaches back, that shoulder blade pulls into the body to support that opening in your chest. This last time, that arm reaches over, you can hold it there, maybe even turn your head a bit to the left, maybe kick your left leg straight out. But the whole time we're holding those front ribs in just enough to give a little bit of support. And then we'll make our way onto our backs and just switching sides here. So we'll take the block on its highest setting underneath your right knee. You can stack your right hand on top of your left, keeping your head facing the direction it is. And then we'll take the right arm and sweep it open. Does not need to get near the floor. We're trying to, once again, just prevent the front of that right shoulder from coming forward. Securing that shoulder blade into the body. Kind of provides you like a little platform. And stay there. You can try tracing the fingers overhead. Just opening up in that circle. Whatever feels best for you. This next time, if that arm opens straight out, maybe you turn your head a bit to look over toward the right. Maybe the right leg kicks forward. Just giving a little bit of that hugging in of the ribs. And then nice and easy, we're gonna roll onto our backs in whatever way it feels lovely and supportive for you. So you can keep the block behind your head or place your blocks behind your knees. Legs can be bent or straight. Just taking a few moments to find a nice position to settle in. Just feeling the gentle ebb and flow of your breath. And just feeling that platform of support of your shoulder blades. That allows your chest to be open. And that allows us to move from that place of open-hearted strength. And let your next breath be a little bit deeper. When you're ready, you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Eventually rolling over to your side and gently pushing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Let's take a moment here to absorb that feeling of open-hearted strength. Being open and free and spacious in our chest. Strong in our back. And taking that feeling into the rest of your day, whatever it has for you. So that we are able to move from this place of space, of freedom, of courage. Knowing we're strong, knowing we're held, knowing we're supported. All right. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I always love working shoulders. It feels so good getting that strength in the back so that we really have this space and this freedom in our chest. So as always, if you enjoyed this class, I would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you are not missing new classes that I'm posting throughout the week. So thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.